A very good morning. Welcome. It's Jeff Laughton online on Monday the 14th of July. Well, it's the first video I've put up since last Tuesday as I went away racing to Newmarket for the July Festival. I actually only ended up going one of the 3 days to Newmarket because on the Friday I thought the card at Ascot looked more winnable, so I went there instead. Well, how wrong was I? It was 34 degrees in the shade and probably touching 40 in the direct sun. Far too hot to be racing in. No wonder that the shortest price winner that day was 5-1 and then went right the way up to 18-1. Needless to say, it wasn't a winning day for me. But I stayed down in Newmarket for 4 nights. We went to a really nice restaurant in Cambridge on the Saturday night called the Oak Bistro. And a big thank you to Robert for looking after us. And when any restaurant has got beef Wellington on its menu, I'm already there, and I certainly wasn't disappointed. But that was last week, and moving on to this week, it's going to be a bit quieter until the end of the week. And I did want to reiterate to people joining the channel for the first time that this hasn't been set up as a tipping channel. It's more educational, and I wanted to show you how I start my day. So this really works for me. So if you have no system in place, it's worth looking at. Firstly, at 11 o'clock in the morning, I run off all tomorrow's sheets and I use the printouts from the Racing Post website. So if you go on there and hit the printout button in the top right hand corner and then click on printouts for tomorrow and go down meeting by meeting and click on large views, and that should give you sheets that look pretty much like these. They are one race to a page, so easy to work out. So then I start putting figures to all these races, and if you have your own figures, use them. You can use Racing Post ratings, which are very good, and you can use time form ratings, which is what I'm really looking for, is to see when a horse is sort of 3 or 4 pounds clear from the rest of the field. So I put my sheets, put my figures to them. They then tend to look like that. Which won't make any sense to you at all, I'm sure. What it means is that just because a horse can be 3 or 4 pound clear doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bet. What it means is it's one of the races I want to look at tomorrow morning when I start, usually about 5 a.m. For example, today on a quiet Monday, there were 7 races for me to look at and study in depth, watching videos, assessing handicaps, and working out the general well-being of the stable, etc, etc, etc. So in the 7 races, which are the ones I highlighted there, this morning I came up with just 2 bets. Now, generally speaking, if I'm using figures and the figures tell me that the horse won't win, it would be unusual for me to then go and back it. I won't say never, because you can get very fast improving handicappers. But generally speaking, the figures have to tell me it can win. Remember, your eyes will lie to you, but figures seldom do. Now, this is why I win literally every single week. I don't get it right every day, of course, but I expect to get it right every week. So you need to do your own work, but using those simple methods will help you get rid of so much of the dead wood. And if there's anything you want to know, anything you want to ask me, just drop me an email and I'll try and answer it for you. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with today's racing. I've got 2 bets today on the private service. The last 5 bets have all won, and we're currently 15 points in profit this week. And this should be our 12th consecutive winning week since the flat season started, with an overall profit of 187 points. If you're interested in being a little bit more select, then drop me an email at the email address below. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button so that you get notified when I put these videos up. Right, let's start this afternoon at Ayr. In the 210, this is quite a tight race. The underwriter was impressive over course and distance in May, but then disappointed badly in the Coventry Stakes, where he finished last of 20. That was too bad a run to be true, and if he returns to the form of his first run, he should be competitive here. But I was more taken by John Quinn's Mind Over Matter on that one's debut 3 weeks ago, also over course and distance. When he was weak in the betting, I think he was 20-1, and he looked a little clueless mid-race, but he did come home strongly in second. The third horse has come out and won since at Pontefract, and that form could be quite decent. There are not only the two realistic winners of the race, there are two others that I would think would have a big chance. But if I was to have a bet, it would probably be Mind Over Matter. In the 310, Nova May runs a week on from a win at Ripen. Now, I did put her up on this channel saying when she won, saying that she had a lot in her favour that day with a stand-side draw. She's usually fast away and with a good apprentice on board. She made all and won by 9 lengths, which would be unusual in a handicap. She carries a £6 penalty today, and a £7 claimer has been swapped for a £5 claimer. So in effect, she carries £8 more today. But she was so impressive. Either that was a huge fluke or she should win again, especially given the fact that the handicapper will put up at least another £8 for that win when he reassesses. Over at Windsor this evening, the 6 o'clock India Love of George Bowie's is a short price favourite and probably deserves to win after winning both her races so far. But she's quite a fierce puller, and if I'm going in short, I want everything to be covered. If she pulls tonight in this small field, she may be vulnerable, so I'm happy to leave that one alone. In the 6:30, Hayar of Ollie Sanchez could be the answer here. She really caught the eye over this course and distance 3 weeks ago when she didn't get a clear run until late on before finishing a fast closing second to a horse called LeBron Power. He then came out in the list, he or she, I'm not sure, came out in the Listed Dragon Stakes at Sandown, finished a very good 4th, beaten only 3.5 lengths. There's been good money overnight for Warning Symbol of James Owens, and he's a half-brother to Wimbledon Hawkeye, so he could be smart, but he's going to have to be to win from a 12 draw on debut. The negative, if there is a negative with Hayar, is that she can be quite tricky in the stalls, and hopefully they will put her in later rather than one of the first. In the 7 o'clock, Oisin Murphy will probably ride the winner here as well, with Displaying having won on him at Doncaster 2 weeks ago. The fact that he made fairly hard work of beating a Mark Johnson horse who has since disappointed would put me off getting stuck in at 4 to 6. So there are a few races for you to look at. Let's not go for the difficult ones where the bookmakers want us to bet in. Let's take the easy options, and I'll speak to you at the same time Please remember, if you are interested in the private service, to drop me an email, jefflaughtonmanagement@gmail.com, and if you haven't subscribed, please do that now, and thank you for dropping by.